What's up, everybody? This is Austin.
And this is Jeff.
And welcome back to another episode of Raw Dog Wednesday.
You know, I just realized
What?
I didn't fill up any water for this episode. So.
I guess you're going without.
Highly unfortunate. Highly unfortunate. So, what do you have for me? Like, interesting shit. Tell me something interesting. Like, last week you told us about a tree falling on a lady. How do you top that, Austin?
Jeff, I want to start this podcast off with a little story of positivity that I experienced in my life.
I don't know if I like this, but...
You will.
Okay.
It's kind of a moral of the story is how a simple gesture can go a long ways. So yesterday, I'm driving in my work truck, right? We've left the job site, and we're heading back to the shop. And I'm driving down, like, the main road that runs through my town. Like, literally goes all the way from one end to the other. It's the main drag. So there's a block before I go to make my turn. There's a lot of manufactured homes. It's a place where they actually sell manufactured homes. And from time to time, they have a semi-truck trying to get in there with a manufactured home, to deliver one. And they have to block traffic in each direction for this thing to actually make its turn so people don't just slam into the side of a, $100,000 house on wheels.
Is that how much one of those costs?
Depends. They can go from under 100,000 to up into the 300,000s. It just depends what you want.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
We looked in some. They're pretty nice. But so there's a semi out there waiting to make its turn. It's in the right lane. So this is where the road is 2 lane. Well, I guess it would be 4 lanes. So 2 lanes on each side with a turn lane. So semi-truck is in the right lane, and I'm cruising down in the left lane, going to make a left turn pretty soon. And you got a guy in a pickup truck that's got the oversized load thing in the center lane trying to get people to go slow and flagging and getting ready to block traffic. So I'm pulling up, and traffic's moving real slow. All the people in the right lane are trying to scooch over into the left lane to get around. And red light up ahead, so everyone stops. And I see this girl sitting in this car in the turn lane. Obviously, I can see that she's been sitting there a while trying to make her turn, across our lanes of traffic. And she's sitting there. So I pull up, I'm like, you know what? I stop short, and I'm just like, okay, go ahead. And so I let her make her turn. And I must have been the only person for several minutes who was willing because, Jeff, do you know what this girl did?
What did she do?
She looked at me almost surprised that I would stop for her, and she blew me a kiss.
Holy shit.
And you know me, I'm a person who gets really angry when you do something and people completely refuse to acknowledge you.
Yeah.
It's just give me the wave. Just like that,
yeah.
You're driving, that one hand just that's all I want.
Or even a little nod.
Yeah, I'll take the nod, but if you just stare at me and refuse to acknowledge me, I get really mad. So I'm just I expected the wave, and she's just just blew me a kiss. I'm like, holy
with
hell.
The hand?
With the hand.
The hand and everything.
I mean, dude, it was she could have won an Oscar for blowing that kiss. Very pretty girl. Very pretty. Wife is not jealous at all. I told her, she's good for you. It just made my day. I had a shitty day at work, and it was just driving back, I was just oh, I feel good now.
You put a little bit of positivity out into the world, Austin. You know what comes back?
And it resonates.
It comes right on back. You plant a seed, comes right on back. Give a little water, which I'm currently out of, comes right on back. That's good, man. That makes me feel good that you're good. That you had a little good day.
Made me happy.
Although
that's something that's never happened to me before either. So it was shocking, but in a good way.
How old was she?
I don't know. If I had to guess, she was probably mid to late 20s.
Okay.
She's trying to turn into Les Schwab, so obviously she needed something done on her car, and she's just sitting there, no one's letting her in. I was just I'll be that nice guy. For no other reason than to just be nice.
Nice Austin for you. Not everything is negativity and Hail Satans, But Well, that's good, man. I don't know where. No, okay. I do know where the manufacturer home came into play, but
It was blocking traffic.
gotcha.
So people were like in the right lane, stopped, having to merge over into the left lane to get around it while the left lane of traffic was still trying to move.
Mhm.
So it's like, even if someone in the left lane had stopped,
Yeah.
someone else could have like from the right lane, like jumped in front of them to like get around the mobile home. But because my work
Yeah.
truck's so big, no one could, like, I was blocking anyone from doing
Gotcha.
that to let this person make their turn.
Gotcha. That's cool. I actually was in a similar situation, a Good Samaritan situation. I believe it was last summer. I was going to jujitsu, and I was going. I'm sorry that I bring this. I always feel like I'm only going a couple of places because I don't do a lot of things. I really don't. There's not a lot of things I go on in my life. I go to work. I come home from work. I either work from home. I either drive to jujitsu. I drive home from jujitsu, or that's about it. There's not too much going on right now, especially with COVID. So I'm driving. I hit my turn, and I'm talking about freeways. I get off the 15. I merge onto the 8, and then I'm getting off onto this on ramp or to this off ramp, and it splits into two, so people can go to the right and to the left. There's 2 lanes on the left, and there's a guy in one of the lanes, like with his hazards on. He's blocking the fucking lane because whether he ran out of gas or whatever, dude. And I would just happen to be like right parallel with him. Like the red light had me stop like right parallel with him, and then he was blocking traffic and there was nobody in front of him, and he was trying to push his car like out of the way, and I was like, oh shit, this sucks for this guy. So I got out of I put my car in park, got out of my car, got behind his car with him, and started pushing. And he didn't notice me at first because he was pushing, his car was going nowhere. And I got up behind the car and I started pushing with him, and his car started moving. I think he thought like he just like got strong all of a sudden, and he was like, oh fuck yeah. And then he looked at me and was like, what the fuck? Like he was just like super surprised to see somebody like had jumped out of their car to help him, and I helped him just like push his car off the side of the road and then jump back in my car and then just took off. But I don't know, it's just one of those things that makes you feel good, you know. It's not, you don't receive any sort of like physical benefit from it, but it's that like emotional benefit. It just like makes you feel good.
Doing nice things for other people releases, you know, like hormones that make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. You know, just it's like it's sort of like the, you know, the shopping cart test,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like the most basic like test of like human decency, where it's like, if you can just go return your shopping cart,
Mm-hmm.
then you're probably at least somewhat of a decent person, as opposed to those fucking idiot asshole animals that leave them out in the middle of the parking lot. Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. I hate you all. You leave the fucking cart in the middle of the parking lot. You're a lazy piece of shit.
It's true.
Because it's like, there's no benefit from it. You just do it because you know it's the right thing to do. And ultimately, it's going to help those fucking kids making minimum wage who have to go out and push carts.
Dude,
That's all there is to it.
That's so true, so true. Once again, one of the other places I go, Trader Joe's. I've brought this up before. I was at Trader Joe's, and it's a pretty big-ass parking lot. It's got a bunch of things in there. It's got like a TJ Maxx. It's got Sprouts. It's got Trader Joe's. It's got all sorts of like, it's just big shopping center area. And this one kid had to run, like he was collecting carts for Sprouts. And he was literally within this huge-ass parking lot. Like Sprouts was on the completely other side, and he had to come all the way over to fucking Trader Joe's to get some shopping carts. And this kid was a master at collecting carts. Like he just had accepted his role as cart master, as cart getter. And so he came over to the Trader Joe's side, grabbed the one Sprout shopping cart out of there. And I was like, because I was pushing my cart to put it into the cart return. And then he pulled his out and then kind of like went around me and then just immediately started sprinting and then hopped on to the cart and was going at least 20 fucking miles an hour through this busy parking lot of cars coming in and out and weaving. And he was literally just maneuvering around these fucking cars going 25 miles an hour. Like, dude, he was hauling ass. He was going at least 20 miles an hour. No bullshit. And was just like maneuvering around these cars super easy. Like, no worries that like the cart wheels would just turn and his cart would flip or anything like that. He was just hauling ass, dude. Back to Sprouts. It was insane.
And you know that kid doesn't get paid enough for how much he cares about his job.
Not enough. Not nearly fucking enough. But that was one of my thoughts too. I was like, that motherfucker, dude. If there was there's just one of those people that you would, work super fucking hard. And if you were in a power position or a position of power to where you had something to offer, like a job or something that was, up there, you would just be like, dude, do you want to come like fucking work for me? I'll pay you a ton of money. Clearly you're a go-getter. You'll do perfect at whatever the fuck I offer you to do. But clearly not in that position to offer things out to people. But
no, big retail and fast food corporations like to shut that shit down in those people, is that their extra effort isn't worth any more extra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Highly unfortunate. I learned that at PetSmart very quickly. If you get your job done quick, fast, better than everybody else, more fucking work for you to do, and it's usually the other people's work. So, but yeah, dude, that whole karma thing we were talking at the beginning kind of brought up something that I remembered from way back when that kind of just died out, that nobody really talks about anymore, in which I believe you were a big bandwagoner back in the day, was the chive. Was it the chive?
It was the chive.
Can you explain the chive? I don't even know what the fuck. I can't even remember the keep calm and chive on.
It's been
bullshit.
A long time. The chive was like this website and app. It was kind of like an image sharing thing where like there were like galleries of images, and like they had different themes. Like one of them was the RAK, the racks, the random act of kindness, whereas people submitted pictures of them doing random acts of kindness. Some of it completely genuine, people being nice. Some of it totally staged for the photo op, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been involved in that.
I don't even know if there is chive anymore. Like I never actually got into it. I just know there's tons of fucking stickers. Everybody had those keep calm stickers. And was that a part of 4chan? Did that like split off of 4chan? Do you know?
I don't know the history. Fucking some of my friends were into it and they got me into it, and then it died off in college. That's all I remember.
Gotcha.
There was a lot of like it was almost kind of like a Barstool Sports kind of thing where they had a lot of things of like drinking and partying and like doing like, cool frat shit type of thing. There's a lot of that on there as well. Yeah. So I don't know if it kind of like that sort of like kind of not evolved into, I know it's not the same thing, but kind of like Barstool kind of like took over what they were doing in like a kind of a spiritual way.
Maybe
I don't pay attention to that stuff, so I could be way off base, but
no, it sounds on par. It really does. Barstool's really taken off, dude. At first, they were just kind of like that next sports show, online sports show, and like all that kind of shit. But dude, they literally own the fucking internet right now. It's insane how much they have. Like Barstool Michigan, Barstool fucking Utah, Barstool this, Barstool. Dude, they literally like they're everywhere. They're just taking over. It's crazy. It's crazy how certain brands can just own. Just like Supreme. When Supreme took off, oh my God. Is Supreme still a thing?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Not one single fuck about Supreme.
I feel like that died with Kanye.
Kanye didn't die. But
actually, this is a resurrection of Kanye. If anything, Kanye is making a comeback.
He's making a comeback in what he thinks is like some sort of second coming of Jesus, because he's literally an insane person now.
Okay,
like he refuses to take his medications, and he thinks he talks to God, and dude's off the fucking rails. I saw some like pictures. I saw some pictures come out of him like screaming right in the face of like Chance the Rapper. And Kanye seems to always appear now wearing like a bulletproof vest. Like, is he just that afraid of being assassinated all the time? Like, no one's fucking concerned about assassinating Kanye West. He's just some idiot now. Like, he's really lost relevancy, like, as a music artist. Like people, like everyone who I hear is like, I miss old Kanye. Why can't we have old Kanye back? Like no one talks about his music now. Everyone just talks about him being married to and now getting divorced from Kim Kardashian, and then just being a total fucking weirdo with his religion and his like run for president. So,
yeah, I think he's making a full circle, dude. He is insanely gifted, and I'm trying to choose my words. He's just an extremely gifted artist, dude. He like watching early videos of him make music and drop beats and like the stories they talk about. There's this one story of him like coming into this party, and fuck, dude. Of course, I can't even think of names. Every time I want to tell a story, I can't think of any names. But dude, just the stories of him like dropping beats or telling people like, "Hey, I want you on this album," and then it's like a #1 hit, and within like a couple weeks, it's fucking crazy. But yeah, the old Kanye, I hate to say that because he's still fucking Kanye, and I don't like to be that person, but like when we were in high school, Kanye was fucking fire. Kanye, like 808s and Heartbreaks, fucking
hard as a motherfucker.
Ham, Stronger, Graduation, fucking dude, just literally dropping fire all the fucking time. Same with Slim Shady, dude. Fucking Eminem was dropping. Crack a Bottle just came out when we were in high school. Dude, he was dropping all sorts of fire stuff too.
Rap God came out around that time.
Rap God. Dude, all sorts of good music. I feel like dude. 2000s, early 2000s, late 2000s. I mean, not late 2000s. Like 2000, 2010.
I
right
believe they
era.
call those the aughts. Because
The
it's
aughts?
00.
The 10s. What are we in the 10s now? The
We're
20s?
in the 20s. It's the roaring 20s, and we started off with the global pandemic.
That's pretty fucking great. But yeah, no, I think Kanye is going to make a circle, a full circle, dude. So we had straight fire young Kanye, and he rose up. And then he fucking like went into crazy debt. And then he hit Kim. And then he became Jesus. And now I think he's just got to like, he's coming over to your side, dude. He's got to become satanic within.
Just like completely give up his religion.
Yeah, like completely. He has to like completely go opposite direction and be like, just.
So you need to stop comparing like me to Satanism, because the whole point of the Satanic Temple is that I don't believe in fucking anything. I don't believe that God or Satan actually exist. It's mainly a label to piss off religious people. That's what it is.
True.
So I don't believe in Satan in any way.
I know it's a bad title for
It's
me.
a
I
bad
should just call you
comparison.
atheist.
Yeah. I would love it if Kanye started actually worshiping the devil, though. That would be hilarious.
I think it's coming. It definitely feel like it's coming. Maybe an album about
Unlike
it.
Jesus again.
Open on Sundays. Where he just goes into a Chick-fil-A and burns down like a Chick-fil-A or something like that on a Sunday.
Jesus Christ. Okay, then.
There's a video of him going into Chick-fil-A, and then he like starts to sing that song, and he's like, "Do you guys know the lyrics?" They're like, "Yeah." So he starts singing the song, and then they don't know the lyrics. He's like, "I'm fucking out of here, dude. I can't believe this." He just dips out. But
Jeff, do you want to know what I'm looking at right now?
What are you looking at?
My
PC parts?
My PC in its new case.
When did you do the swap?
Monday night when all my parts got here.
Mm.
So
How's it look? Does it look good?
it looks good. It's a little bit empty inside because it's a much bigger case for more fans, and I don't have enough fans to fill it out just yet. So
Is your case bigger than mine? I feel like my next case was bigger than your original case, but now it might be smaller than your new case.
No, not even close. So you have an NZXT H510 Elite. I had an NZXT H510. So they're exactly the same dimension of case. Yours just has more fancy glass panels, and it had like built-in lighting.
Mm-hmm.
I swapped to the Corsair 4000D Airflow, and that might be a tiny bit smaller than the 510, but not by any noticeable amount. The 5000D airflow is a fucking monster. It's way bigger. It's way bigger.
Like I said, I refuse to even think about doing any sort of renditions to my PC just because it's running so well. I do need to clean it. Once again, I've said that I need to. What do you use? Do you just like use that little aerosol spray shit?
Canned air. Do not
Canned air.
blow liquid into your PC, please.
I would not. I definitely need to give it a good wipe down. We don't have any good cleaning products here.
Like
I need to go get some
in your apartment or in California in general.
No, in my apartment. I need to get some Lysol, some Windex, some canned air. I need to get a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Not just for cleaning my PC.
Blow out the fins on your air cooling tower, because dust will build up in there, and then your shit will get hot.
Gotcha.
Blow out the fins on your graphics card.
You'll have to walk me through that.
Just like everything else, but I'm happy to do so.
Only sometimes. Dude, I was checking out Dogecoin again today. It's back down.
Shocking.
It's back down. It's to point. It's like 0.8%. So, honestly, I don't know if it'll ever hit $1, just because they keep shitting out more Dogecoin and there's no limit to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it might, even if Elon, Ashton, fucking Joe Rogan, fucking Bezos, even if everyone supports it, I don't even know if it's gonna hit. I just don't know, man.
Well, like cryptocurrency is kind of at this weird crossroads where there are people trying to get it regulated.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this funny thing where it was like, I think it was some member of Congress was like proposing that they needed to have some sort of regulation for cryptocurrency because it was being used in like too many illicit transactions, right? And then someone made a comment like, oh, like all the trillions of dollars in like the big banks across the world haven't been used in fucking illicit transactions for all of time.
That's extremely true. All sorts of illicits. The government always likes to pretend like they're, the cleanest of clean. They never do anything.
It's not just the government, too. Like, the big corporations act like they don't have, like, human rights violations all over the place in other countries that is funded by these, money in these big banks that are just like, we don't see anything.
Yeah, Apple, Boeing. I don't know about Amazon.
The hell
Nike.
you bring Boeing in for?
Just not exporting, but I don't want to get into it. But yeah, I don't want to get into it with you over Boeing because I know you're a Boeing. You have a hard on for Boeing.
Why do I have a hard on for Boeing? I just like planes. Planes are cool. I don't know any. I don't know that Boeing has any sweatshops in China.
I know they export like some of their work. Not export. I don't know what the
outsource
correct terminology. Outsourcing, like their work and whatnot. I had a class in college, dude. We had this one professor, just loved to talk, dude. Just loved to fucking talk. And literally, our assignments would be we'd have to go like, we'd have like all these questions, and you choose 2 of them. So there'd be like 20 questions, right? You come to class twice a week, and there'd be like 20 questions each class period. And you had to go find an answer to one of these questions through a online source. So you'd have to give like an example. So like somebody outsourcing work to another country that's diminishing like the US dollar. It'd just be like crazy, not crazy, but like questions like that. And you'd have to give an example. And if somebody brought the same example as you wouldn't be able to use your example. And then you would just like minus a point for the day. So sometimes you'd want to bring in like 5 fucking examples just in case like a bunch of people use your examples. So you had extra ones. And I don't know. He just loved to fucking talk about all this shit. And even if he didn't know the answer, he would just like pretend like he knew the answer, and he would just go on this fucking rant forever. And you just have people ask him questions all the time. Like, he just had this like God complex where he knew everything and you could just ask him anything and he had to have the fucking answer for it. But I'm just getting flashbacks to those terrifying college days of me almost dropping out of college. That would have been great.
I did drop out of college. I did not enjoy college. Neither one that I went to. Utah State sucked. Eastern Washington University sucked. College sucks. So many professors have a stick up their ass, think they're like ultra superior.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a few cool professors that made class interesting. Two of my favorites. My favorite at Utah State, surprisingly, was landscape architecture. Really enjoyed the class, really enjoyed the subject material, but when it came to do the final, this like test, where it was like actually like doing a project, I was like, there's no way I could do this as a profession. But it's cool. And then at Eastern, I actually had a great geology class. Big fan of licking them rocks.
Rock liquor.
That's
cool.
a joke from the gold mines that I picked up for any of you who don't know. Geologists or
Little
rock
rock humor.
lickers.
Yeah. Dude, another thing that professor would do is there was only 100 points for the class. So if you missed like a answer on a test or missed an assignment, it was 1% of your grade. So like if we took a 20-point test and you missed 5 fucking questions, you're down to a 95%.
That is disgusting.
Absolutely fucking terrifying. And his test had no it wasn't like ABC. You couldn't circle a question. It was like written. You had to write everything in, and there were like just these complex, fucked up tests, dude. Like, there was no right answer. It was just all theoretical and just, dude.
The American education system
So stressful.
does not teach critical thinking. It teaches memorization and repeating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty stressful class. But then I had some cool fucking professors too. One would play like Beatles music before we would come into class. My business law professor. I don't know. There were some pretty cool professors as well. But school, man. I'm probably gonna have nightmares.
I don't.
Sure.
God, I don't know that I see myself going back to college, even online.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you pay a lot of money to do a bunch of busy work to get a piece of paper that all of a sudden says, I'm now suddenly employable at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my dad ended up going back to college after dropping out numerous times in his youth. And he ended up getting his bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and then he went through and did an MBA program as well.
Damn.
So I don't even remember what he got his master's degree in, but he got a master's degree in something and then an MBA.
Yeah.
And that was, within the last like 3 or 4 years. And well before that, he was doing jobs that traditionally would have absolutely required a college degree, where he just had enough experience, in a certain field or in a certain position where it's like it made up for, well, actually it blew out of the water the experience you get from getting a college degree. So,
oh yeah, definitely. I would say experience definitely trumps the degree, but the degree helps a ton because people just see it and they go, oh yeah, okay, you're qualified.
Yeah, that's the problem though, because that doesn't mean, just that piece of paper doesn't mean you're qualified. What if you cheat all the way through college and end up, getting your degree off that?
Oh yeah,
that means you're a qualified cheater.
Yeah, there's probably like 80% of people cheat their way through college. I don't take my word for it, but I'm gonna say there's a solid, like above 50% of people that do that. But I was saying, like if you have your college degree, you still need that experience. That's why like entry level college jobs don't make a ton of money, but they have a high peak to where you can make a lot of money, because you start with that base, like that base college degree, and then you're just slowly accumulating that experience that a lot of people can't get into that entry level because everybody wants that fucking experience, which you can't seem to get. It's just, dude, it's like this never-ending circle.
It's a vicious cycle of like financial gatekeeping where it's like if you want to, get this entry level job that means you can move up, you have to have a certain amount of money to afford college. It literally it's like the rich, stay rich and the poor keep getting poorer. It's a perfect example of that. Because in other fucking countries, with free education, it's like, my family doesn't have the means to send, to pay for college, but they don't have to. So I can still go get a degree and become a highly, highly productive member of society at a high level, but you don't have that same financial, hurdle. It's a very Americanized thing.
Yeah. Well, I would like to say, though, you don't have to be rich to go to college. They'll sign...
No, but it sure fucking helps.
Yeah, I mean, it helps to not, to come out debt free, but they'll sign pretty much anybody's life away to get a college degree.
Yeah, to put you into debt because the big banks benefit off of all the student debt.
Yeah, but you were saying the rich stay rich by basically like only the rich getting to go to college, but that's not true. Like, they'll sign it literally low class, middle class, upper class. They'll sign foreigners. They'll sign anybody to a fucking $100,000 debt contract.
Yeah, and then you're a slave to your debt for the rest of your life. Great.
Yeah.
Then you live paycheck to paycheck with that fucking fancy 4-year degree.
Yeah. It's interesting though to see kind of how the college systems are kind of starting to fade off a little bit due to Corona. Corona's taking a big bite out of the college system.
It's really starting to expose their deficiencies and like how much you don't need the traditional like college experience, how you don't need to essentially go there as a boarding school and all that, and how really it can just easily be done online. And I feel like it's going to really legitimize online schooling for people who maybe before didn't think that it was like the same. Yeah. Because now everyone is doing it, so it must be fine. Yeah. If Harvard is online, if fucking Stanford is online, if Yale or Oxford or whatever, you have to go to school online. Well, it must be just as good.
Yeah. Before they would always say like, oh, you just can't get the same education online as you can, in a actual institution. Like they'd always shit on like what is it, Phoenix
University of Phoenix, I believe.
University of Phoenix or any sort of like online school like that. But it's just like a cheaper, faster way to get a degree. Which
online school can also like eliminate a lot of the time that you just completely waste at a 4-year school. Like if you can work and go to online school at night, then that's, you literally are working and able to afford more than you would be as like a student with a part-time shitty job at, the fucking campus taco time or whatever.
Yeah.
Like my wife is about to start online school in February, and she's going through the same school that my dad was. My dad was able to get his bachelor's in one semester off a combination of his prior experience and credits and work history, and then just being able to like go through the material, as fast or as slow as needed to be proficient enough in it to pass the class. Because that really is all it is. Yeah. Like, again, back to the memorization. You just have to know all the stuff you need to know to pass the class, and then you pass it. And online school gives you that option of like, well, this one's going to take me 5 minutes, and this one's going to take me 4 weeks. So,
yeah. One thing I love though, because I've been in a couple like entry level jobs to where you come in with a degree and you like entry level, and you go and you meet all the like entry level employees that are like in the same spot you are, and then you start talking about like, oh, what's your degree in? Blah 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 blah, and it's like everyone's kind of like in this boat to where like, yeah, I have this degree, but like we don't know shit about the company, and we have to like learn everything about the company and how everything functions and blah 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 blah. And a lot of times there's people in positions that shouldn't be in that position. Like it'll be like a business job, like a management job, and they'll have like a degree in science, or they'll have a degree in fucking English, and I'm like, what? And they're like, well, you have a 4-year degree, and it's like, how does that That makes zero sense.
Again, you go into debt for the rest of your life for a fucking piece of paper.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, I don't know what to say, man. College.
Don't go to college if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't let society force you into a debt and a position that you don't want to go, because I didn't want to go to 4-year school, and I ended up dropping out twice. It wasn't for me. I should have gone to community college, gone in through a vocational program. That would have worked better for me. So don't let people force you into going to get your bachelor's degree if that's not what you want to do with your life.
Yeah. Do you get any plans for this weekend?
No. I was going to go fishing, but it looks like it's going to fucking snow and be cold.
Dude, it's been literally, it's been pissing on San Diego this week. Pissing, dude. Sunday, pouring rain. Windy as shit. Like, just wind coming straight off the ocean, blowing straight in. Windy as shit. Next day, raining, windy as shit. Next day, raining, windy as shit. And where I live, so there's the San Diego Bay, and then there's actually like a little salt flat mine right here. And then there's a couple like stagnant kind of bays, almost like that siphon into that salt mine. And there's a kind of like a barricade like for that bay, and it's like rocks and stuff, and you can actually drive a car up on it. Obviously there's no public access, but it was so windy that all the water was like blowing into that barricade, and all the salt was just hammering up onto that side of that barricade, and then it was blowing over the barricade in chunks, and it looked like snow. It literally looked like it was snowing because all the salt was coming up and flying over the barricade. It's crazy.
It just snowed here. Like actual snow.
Oh, even worse, then it smelled like sulfur. So that was pretty bad.
We need to wrap this up.
All right, well, it's past Austin's bedtime. Austin needs to go to bed. Anyways, that was Raw Dog Wednesday. Everybody tune in to Sunday. We haven't decided the topic yet, but it's going to be another fire episode. We love and appreciate you. Keep listening. Check out our YouTube, check out our Instagram, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night, everybody. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll see you on Sunday. Later.